Hi, this is Daniel, and you're listening to English Unlocked. Today, I want to talk to you about motivation, about learning English when it feels difficult, when progress feels slow, when you feel tired or unsure. If you feel this way, you are not alone. Many people start learning English with excitement. At the beginning, everything feels new. But after some time, motivation becomes weaker. That is normal. Learning a language takes time. It takes patience. And it takes kindness toward yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to learn fast. You just need to continue. Sometimes you understand a lot. Sometimes you understand very little. Both moments are part of learning. Listen to this. You are learning more than you think, even when you don't notice it. Every time you listen to English, your brain is working. Your ears are learning the sounds. Your mind is getting used to the language. You don't need to study for hours. You don't need to remember everything. Small steps are enough. Some days you feel confident. Some days you feel lost. That does not mean you are bad at English. It means you are human. Think about why you started. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to understand movies, music, or people. Your reason is important. You don't need to compare yourself to others. Everyone learns differently. Everyone has their own pace. Slow progress is still progress. When learning feels hard, slow down. Take a breath. Listen again. English does not need to be stressful. It can be calm. It can be gentle. You are allowed to learn slowly. Every word you understand matters. Every sentence you recognize matters. You are building something step by step. And even when motivation is low, listening is enough. Just being here is enough. Sometimes you feel stuck. You listen, but you think you don't improve. You learn words, but you forget them. This feeling is very common. Learning English is not a straight line. There are ups and downs, good days and difficult days. On difficult days, it is important to be gentle with yourself. You are not failing. You are learning. Progress is often quiet. It happens slowly, in the background. One day, you suddenly understand a sentence. One day, you recognize a word without thinking. These moments come because you didn't stop. You don't need strong motivation every day. Motivation comes and goes. What really helps is habit. Listening a little every day, even when you don't feel motivated. You don't need long lessons. 5 or 10 minutes are enough. Consistency is more important than intensity. When English feels hard, make it easier. Listen without pressure. Listen without trying to remember everything. Let the language come to you. You don't need to speak perfectly. You don't need a perfect accent. You need communication, not perfection. Mistakes are part of learning. They are not something to fear. Every mistake means you are trying. And trying means progress. If you feel tired, rest. If you feel bored, change the way you learn. Listen instead of reading. Listen while walking or relaxing. English can be part of your life, not a problem you need to solve. You are already doing something important. You are giving time to yourself. You are investing in your future. Even when you feel slow, you are moving forward. You don't need to rush. There is no deadline. Your English journey is yours. Learning English is a long journey. It does not happen in 1 week or 1 month. And that is okay. Many people quit because they expect fast results. But language learning works differently. Your brain needs time. Time to listen. Time to recognize sounds. Time to feel comfortable. You are not slow. You are normal. Sometimes you think, I am not good at languages. But this is not true. You are learning a new system, new sounds, new patterns. This takes courage. You show courage every time you listen, even when you feel tired, even when you doubt yourself. Listen to this. You don't need to feel confident to continue. Confidence comes after practice, not before. Many learners wait to feel ready, but readiness comes from action. You don't need to understand everything. Understanding grows slowly. First, you hear sounds. Then you recognize words. Then sentences start to make sense. This is progress. Some days you will feel proud. Some days you will feel frustrated. Both feelings are part of learning. When frustration comes, remind yourself, I am learning something difficult. I am allowed to feel tired. Be patient with yourself. You don't speak your first language perfectly either. You learned it over many years. English also needs time. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Every minute of listening helps. Even passive listening helps. Your brain learns even when you relax. So don't underestimate small effort. Small effort repeated many times becomes something big. You don't need to do everything right. You just need to continue. One day, you will notice. English feels less scary. Words feel familiar. Listening feels easier. That day comes because you didn't stop. Keep going. Slowly. Calmly. You are doing better than you think. Sometimes motivation disappears quietly. You don't notice it at first. You skip one day, then another day, and suddenly learning feels heavy. This does not mean you are lazy. It means you are tired. Learning a language uses energy, mental energy, emotional energy. It is okay to slow down. You don't need to push yourself every day. You don't need to feel inspired all the time. Sometimes motivation is calm. Sometimes it is almost invisible. But it is still there. Listen to this. You don't need motivation to listen. You just need to press play. Listening is the easiest step. You can listen without effort, without pressure. Your brain still works. Your ears still learn. This is enough. If learning feels boring, change the angle. Don't ask yourself, how fast can I learn? Ask instead, how can I make this easier? Maybe you listen while walking. Maybe while cooking. Maybe before sleep. English does not need all your attention. It can stay in the background. When you stop fighting the language, it becomes lighter. You don't need to control every word. You don't need to translate everything. Let English flow. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel weak. Learning continues on both days. You don't lose progress because of one bad day. You don't lose progress because of a pause. What matters is returning. Every time you come back, you build trust with yourself. You show yourself, I don't give up. And this is powerful. Learning English is not only about language. It is also about patience and self-respect. You are learning how to stay with something difficult without running away. This skill helps in many parts of life. So when motivation feels low, don't judge yourself. Just stay close to the language. Listen a little. Rest a little. You are allowed to learn slowly. You are allowed to take breaks. English will wait for you. And you can continue when you are ready. Many people think motivation must be strong and loud. They think it must feel exciting. But real motivation is often quiet. It is the decision to continue, even when nothing feels special. It is choosing to listen again, even when you feel tired. Motivation is not a feeling. It is a habit. You don't wait for motivation. You create it through small actions. Listen to this. Every time you listen to English, you tell yourself, I care about myself. This matters. Learning English is not only about language. It is about opening doors. It is about giving yourself more choices. Even if you don't see results today, you are preparing something for the future. That is powerful. Sometimes you feel pressure. Pressure to learn faster. Pressure to be better. This pressure does not help. English grows better in a calm space, in a safe space. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to impress anyone. This journey is for you. When you listen without pressure, your brain is more open. Understanding comes easier. So be kind to yourself. If today you understand one sentence, that is enough. If today you only listen, that is enough. You don't need perfect days. You need regular ones. Regular listening builds familiarity. Familiarity builds confidence. Confidence does not come from talent. It comes from time. Give yourself time. Your pace is your pace. There is no correct speed. Some people learn faster. Some learn slower. Both are okay. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you should be, on your path. And this path continues. As long as you don't stop. You don't need to do more. You just need to stay. Stay with the language. Stay with the sound. Little by little, English becomes part of you. Sometimes you forget how far you have come. You focus on what you don't know yet. You forget what you already understand. This is very common. When you listen to English now, you hear more than before. Even if you don't notice it, your brain remembers sounds. It remembers rhythm. It remembers patterns. This learning is quiet, but it is real. Listen to this. You don't need visible progress every day. Some progress happens inside. One day, you will understand a sentence without translating, and you will be surprised. That moment comes from many small listens. You don't need to push yourself. Pushing creates resistance. Learning grows better with trust. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. You are capable of learning English, not because you are special, but because you are human. Humans learn languages naturally. We have done it before. Think about how you learned your first language. You listened for a long time. You didn't understand everything, but you continued. English works the same way. You don't need to be smart. You need to be patient. Patience is a skill, and you are practicing it right now. Every time you listen instead of quitting, you strengthen this skill. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel weak. Both days count. You don't lose progress on weak days. You build resilience. Resilience is the ability to continue, even when it feels hard. This is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Resilience stays. And you are building it. If today you only listen quietly, that is still learning. If today you understood one idea, that is still progress. You don't need to do more. You don't need to prove anything. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to rest. English will not disappear. It will be there when you come back. And every time you return, you are stronger than before. You are not starting again. You are continuing. This is your journey. Learning English is also about trust. Trusting that your effort matters. Even when you don't feel results, trust grows slowly. You build it every time you don't give up. Listen to this. You are allowed to learn at your own speed. You don't need permission. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compete. Language learning is not a race. Some people speak quickly. Some speak slowly. Speed does not equal quality. Understanding is more important than speed. You are training your ears first. This is the right order. When you listen a lot, speaking becomes easier later. You don't need to force speaking now. It will come naturally. Many learners feel afraid to speak. Fear is normal. Fear does not mean you are weak. It means you care. Fear becomes smaller with time. With listening. With exposure. You don't need to fight fear. You just need to stay close to the language. Let English become familiar. Familiar things feel less scary. This is why listening is powerful. You can listen without pressure, without judgment. Your brain absorbs the language quietly. One day, you will notice that English sounds normal, not strange, not foreign. That day comes slowly. And then suddenly, you don't need to hurry to that day. It will arrive. Until then, your job is simple. Listen, return, continue, even when you feel tired, even when you feel unsure. Each time you continue, you strengthen your confidence. Confidence is not loud. It is calm. It is the feeling that you can handle difficulty. And you are handling it right now. Learning English is hard sometimes. And you are still here. That means something. You are stronger than you think. Sometimes you ask yourself a simple question. Is this really working? You listen again. You try again. And you are not sure. This doubt is part of learning. Doubt does not mean you should stop. It means you care about progress. Listen to this. Learning English is like planting a seed. You don't see results immediately, but something is happening under the surface. Roots grow quietly, invisible but strong. Your listening is building these roots. Every sentence you hear, every word you recognize, is part of this process. You don't need to see progress every day. You need to trust that it is happening. Trust grows with repetition. When you return to English again and again, you tell your brain, this is important. The brain responds over time. You may not notice it today. You may not notice it tomorrow. But one day, you understand more. And that moment feels natural. Not magical. Natural. That is real learning. You don't need to feel inspired to continue. You only need to stay connected. Connection is stronger than motivation. Motivation changes. Connection stays. English becomes part of your daily life. Not a task. Not a problem. Just something you hear. Something you recognize. And recognition brings comfort. Comfort reduces fear. Fear reduces resistance. This is how learning becomes easier. If today feels heavy, do less. Listen without expectations. Let the sound be enough. You are not late. You are not failing. You are learning in a human way. And human learning is slow, messy, and very real. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be patient. Patience is quiet strength, and you are building it with every minute you stay. Sometimes you think about stopping. Not forever, just for a while. You tell yourself, I will come back later. This thought appears when you are tired, when your energy is low. That is normal. But listen to this. You don't need to stop completely. You can simply change the speed. You can listen less. You can listen more quietly. You can listen without attention. Even this counts. Learning does not disappear when you slow down. It continues in a softer way. Your brain keeps working in the background. You don't need big effort every day. You need gentle contact. Gentle contact builds continuity. When learning feels heavy, make it lighter. Remove expectations. Remove pressure. You don't need to achieve anything today. Today, listening is enough. Some days are about growth. Some days are about rest. Both days are part of progress. You don't need to feel motivated to continue. You need to feel safe. Safe to be slow. Safe to be unsure. Safe to be imperfect. English learning becomes easier when you stop judging yourself. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly in your process. Your process does not look like others, and it doesn't need to. Comparison steals energy. Focus gives energy. Focus on your listening, on your rhythm. Every time you return to English, even for a few minutes, you reinforce your habit. Habits are stronger than feelings. Feelings change. Habits stay. This is why you don't need motivation every day. You need a simple routine. Press play. Listen. Continue. Nothing more. You don't need to be inspired. You need to be present. Presence is powerful. And you are here right now. That means you didn't give up. And that matters more than you think. There is something important to remember. You are not learning English to be perfect. You are learning English to understand and to be understood. Perfection is not the goal. Connection is the goal. Many learners wait for the moment when they feel ready. Ready to speak. Ready to understand everything. But this moment does not come first. It comes after practice. Readiness is built, not found. Listen to this. You don't become confident and then start. You start, and then confidence grows. Confidence grows quietly. It grows when you return again and again. You may not feel it today, but it is forming. Every time you choose to listen instead of giving up, you strengthen this confidence. It becomes part of you. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you don't. But learning continues on both days. This is why you don't need to rely on motivation. You rely on presence. Presence means you show up, even for a short time. Presence is enough. English does not require your full energy. It only asks for your attention. From time to time. A few minutes. A calm moment. That is how languages are learned. Not in stress. Not in fear. But in repetition. In familiarity. You don't need to change who you are. You don't need to be someone else. You can learn English as the person you are now, with your pace, with your doubts, with your strengths. All of this is part of learning, and the fact that you are still listening means something important. It means you care. It means you haven't quit. And not quitting is already a big success. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to do more. You only need to continue gently. English will meet you where you are, and step by step, it will feel more familiar. You can pause here. Take a moment and notice one thing. You stayed. You listened. You didn't give up. That already matters. Learning English is not about speed. It is about trust. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel confident all the time. You only need to continue. In your own way. At your own pace. Every time you listen, you build familiarity. Familiarity builds confidence. And confidence grows quietly. Thank you for spending this time with me. This was Daniel, and you were listening to English Unlocked. Come back whenever you need support, motivation, or just calm English listening. You are not alone on this journey.